Welcome back to a new episode of Mastering Programming. We're continuing off where we left off last time, and in this episode, we're actually going to explore Playgrounds. Playgrounds allows you to run more complicated Swift code, and it allows you to view the results instantly as you're seeing right in front of you right now. As you can see, we have str, and it's declaring hello playground, and as you can see, we have it displayed on the right side straight away. Well, how about we do this ourselves? Let's go back to our desktop, and in order to use this we need to have Xcode installed. I already have it installed, but I will show you how to do it as well. Let's go to our App Store, go to your search bar, and type in Xcode. As you can see, it should be the first application that appears to you. Now, I have mine already installed, so it says update, but you will probably have something that says get instead. Make sure you download this by simply typing get, and you'll be able to have Xcode installed in a little bit of no time. Usually it takes me around 15 minutes to get it installed, but depending on your internet, it will take different timing. Once you have Xcode installed, simply walk through the wizard and you will be able to set it up very easily. It's not hard at all. After we have Xcode installed, what we will do is we will launch it. Now you can do that if you have it on your dock, you can simply click on it. Otherwise, you need to go to your launchpad, and to do that, you simply need to go to that rocket over here and click on Xcode. Or if you can't find it at all, what you can do is you can press on Command and then space and type in Xcode and then click on it. As you can see, you will have on the right side all your most recent projects. As you can see, I have quite a few, but most likely you will not have any if this is the first time you use Xcode. And on the left side, you can create a new Xcode project, clone an existing project, open a project or file. We're actually not going to select any of them, and instead we need our playground. So we're going, with Xcode selected, we're going to go to File, and then New. Make sure you scroll down to Playgrounds, and click on Playground. Let's put this in the middle. Make sure you have iOS selected, and then the blank template. Click on Next. It will ask you to name it something. I will name mine Hello World. And I will save it in my desktop because it's the most accessible thing to me. But you can obviously save it anywhere you like by clicking on desktop and then selecting your file. Or instead, you can click on this button and you actually be able to save it into any file you want. You can even create a new file. And again, let's just make sure we have this selected as saved as Hello World, and it will be saved in my desktop. And if I click on create, as you can see, we have a file created here and it says Playground on it. That means it's a file that will open in Playground. And any file that you have this blue symbol on, it means it's a Swift file. Let's go ahead and expand our code here. And make sure you come over here and you drag this something like this. Let's give it a second. Now, as you can see, we have import UI kit in our file. The import UI kit statement allows you to use anything from the UI kit framework. This will become very important as you work through the labs in this course, and you should typically leave the import statement in all of your files. So that's exactly what I will do. I will leave it in my file. Let's go to another line, and as you can see here, we have var str equals to hello playground. Let's leave this for now, and I'm not going to do anything with it. Instead, let's create the exact same Swift Swift file that we did in terminal, where we printed hello world. And to do that, we will simply go here and we will say print, and inside of here we're going to open and close the quotation marks, and I will say hello comma world with an exclamation mark. Let's run this file and see what will happen. So as soon as I run this code, and to run it you simply need to hover over the numbers and you will see a play button comes here. Now everything highlighted in blue, that means it will run, and if I click on play, as you can see we have hello world printed inside of our console. On the right side we also have some pretty interesting things. So here we're saving hello playground inside of our str variable. And we know it's a variable because over here it says var. We will learn more about this later on in our playlist, But for now, you can see that anything that gets saved into something or anything that gets declared or used is displayed on our right side over here. To view this in more details, we can click on the eye, and as you can see, it says what str is carrying. Now, if you want to permanently display this, you can click on this button and it will always show in the line below. Same thing for the hello world. We can click on this and it will say hello world, or we can display it over here. I don't want to actually display it, so I will untick both of them. Now, since str is provided to us, let's actually give it some value and start using it. Instead of saying hello world, I want to say hello playground. As you can see, str is equal to hello playground. So let's go ahead and remove this, and instead I will pass str. And as you can see, autocompletion here tells you that it's a v, meaning it's a var, and it says that it's carrying a string. Now, if you don't know, print statements must carry strings only. Now, as we mentioned before, a string inside of the print statement must be surrounded by quotation marks. Now, since str already carries quotation marks, we don't need to put it another time inside of our print statement. Let's go ahead and run this and see what will happen. I'll click on play. And as you can see, now it's printing hello playground, which is the value stored inside of str. Well, that's very useful, and it means that we can use other objects in our print statements. But what happens if I put a quotation mark over str? Let's go ahead and run it. And as you can see, now it's only printing str. It's not actually printing the value that str is carrying, because the quotation marks tell the print statement that we're printing things exactly as they appear inside of us. But we don't want that, so we will remove this and we will run it and see what happens this time. Perfect, we have hello playground running. So this is it for this episode. We learned how to use playgrounds. We learned a little bit about print statements and variables. In the next episode, we will learn much more about constants, variables, and different data types inside of Swift. Thank you, and come back to the next episode.